Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Today's topic, I want to go over a few things, guys. As we know, I've been bulking, dealing with some injuries, dealing with some problems, and not only with muscle building, but also with life. There's obstacles, right? There's problems that you're going to run into, and with those problems, you have to find kind of ways to maneuver out of them. Everyone goes through, hard times, struggles, hardships. And I think the smartest people, the most intelligent people that I've learned from are the people who are able to maneuver so well throughout those, hard times. Interestingly enough, I've been thinking about how finite life is, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, right? Everything comes to an end eventually. I think that's something that we can all agree on. Even you can believe in religions and stuff, and I know that people have different beliefs, but I think it's universally known that everything comes to an end. So with that end, there has to be some kind of drive, some kind of motivation that's motivating you, that's pushing you to want to do better before that time ends. We all die, we all pass away, but the thing is, what do we do within that time before we pass away? And that's really what I've been reflecting on lately. What do I want my legacy to be? What do I want to leave for my children? Not yet, but my future children. I don't have any children yet, but the future children that I do have, I want to be a good role model. I want to be someone they look up to, even when I'm not alive. And I'm hoping that I can build and I can establish my name, in the books, I guess you could say, in the history books. I strive. I really genuinely want great things. I really want success, and that's something I work towards. And with the finiteness of life, it's pushed me even harder to work for the things I want. I remember when I was younger, and I'm still young now, as you can see, 20 years old, but I've learned a lot within those 20 years, and I'm still going to learn a lot. It feels like every day I learn so much, and every time I look back on my old self, I think, wow, what a young punk, what an idiot. Maybe not an idiot, but someone who was inexperienced, someone who was lacking maturity, and those are the things that I'm trying to build on. But when I reflect at night, I think about the things I've done. I don't know if it's universal, but whenever I think about the things that I've done, I just don't feel like I've done enough. Even when I'm working towards better things, I just feel like I'm not accomplishing enough. Even when I'm working 24/7 all the time, I just feel like I'm not doing enough. And I don't know if that's something that I'll get over, or maybe I will work harder. I don't even know if I probably can work harder, right? I can definitely work harder, but I feel like I'm working so hard right now. It's kind of interesting that I'm not getting really satiated from the work that I'm doing. Maybe it's because I expect too much out of myself. That might be it. That definitely might be it, but I'm not sure. Again, we're all working for goals. It's kind of interesting how interpersonally we all have different goals. No one has the same. People have certain goals like becoming an NBA superstar, NFL superstar, a sports athlete, whatever you want to be. But I feel like everyone has multiple goals, right? So everyone sets long-term and short-term goals, and everyone wants to reach those goals. And sometimes goals interfere and they intersect. Like maybe I want to be an elite athlete, but there's plenty of other people who want to be elite athletes as well. And sometimes to reach your dream, you have to crush others, and it sounds bad, but again, from an evolutionary standpoint, or I guess from a biological standpoint, we can see that that's something that just happens. It's not. I don't want to say necessarily survival of the fittest, but it is kind of like that. It is some way. It is some way like that. So I guess we can say that. But for the most part, I'd say most people's dreams don't involve crushing anyone else's dreams, right? Like I don't want to interfere with anyone's dreams, and none of my dreams really interfere with anyone else. I want success. I don't want fame, but I'd like wealth. I'd like to impact people's life in a positive way. Something that I've been really trying to get away from is negativity. I feel that being the person I am, we all have negativity biases, but I feel that again, with me being hard on myself, I like to magnetize the negative things that come up in my life or the negative things that I kind of create in my life. And it seems like those negative things just pulse, and they become bigger and bigger, and they become even more radiating in my life and even more annoying. And it's just something that I'm trying to rid in my life. I'm trying to rid that out of my life. I'm trying to stay positive as much as I can. And I feel that I am naturally a very positive person. You know, when I'm around people, I'm a community-based person. I really enjoy interacting with people. I like socializing. I like conversing with people. But again, that negativity will always creep in, and that's something that I've came to grips with and I'm okay with. But I just try and stay positive for the most part. The one thing that I actually do want to talk about, and there is a person that I do personal train. I'm trying to start personal training online. It's something that I'm very, very passionate about. I love training people. I love training myself. One thing that I've found common with people that don't make many gains in the gym is there's a lack of intensity. If you go to the gym, and next time you go to the gym, look around the room, and you can almost always see that the biggest guys are usually the guys who are lifting with the most intensity. There's almost an anger to it. I don't want to say that because I feel that people will get that a little bit misconstrued, because I don't think you necessarily have to be angry to be a good lifter. But people like, I can't think of any examples right now. There's a guy named Pete Rubin? Pete Rubin? I don't know his name. Anyways, really, really good lifter, but he gets angry as all hell. And it's pretty impressive. I don't even get that angry, but I try and channel some kind of anger. I try and think of pretty interesting thoughts just to kind of prep myself for the lift. And I was wondering how I was going to motivate the guy that I'm personal training, how I can convey to him what kind of intensity you need to bring to the gym, because I feel that a lot of people are leaving gains on the table because they're not bringing the intensity that they should be. And it's not that you have to be so intense you have a heart attack. You know, you don't need to cause yourself any harm. No physical harm, no mental harm. You don't need to really get in any problems like that. But I think that you need to bring a passion. You know, just be passionate about lifting. Enjoy the lift. Enjoy your workout. But be hungry for those gains. When you're lifting the weight, lift with intent. That's another big thing I've noticed. People lift weights. People swing weights around. Sometimes it's ego-based. Sometimes it's just a lack of passion for lifting. You can always tell when people like lifting or not. It's pretty obvious. When you look around the room again, you can see who's intense, who loves it, who genuinely enjoys going to the gym, lifting weight, getting bigger, and is hungry for those gains, and the people that aren't. And it's something that's obvious. We can all use pre-workouts. We can all use caffeine to try and kind of amp ourselves up. But again, that only solves a small part of it. Just because your heart rate's up doesn't mean necessarily that brings up your intensity. There's some kind of correlation, I would say. You know, if you have a higher heart rate, you have some caffeine in you, there can be some transfer of intensity. But for the most part, you need to bring that intensity yourself. One thing that I've tried to stay away from is pre-workouts. I used to overdose on caffeine, especially in the pre-workout form. I went from drinking nothing to pre-workouts because everyone, I feel like everyone at the beginning, when they start lifting, they get proteins, pre-workouts, other stuff for lifting, but those are the main things because they feel that those are synonymous with lifting, right? And I got pre-workouts, and they always got me so jittery. I feel like I'm already a pretty energized person. I already am kind of fidgety. And the main pre-workout that I used to use was C4. Using that just did too much for me. It was good. I wasn't saying it's not bad, but it was just way too much for me. And it wasn't healthy for me, and I could tell. And I don't think pre-workout, at least most pre-workouts, are very healthy. Now you can use alternatives like caffeine pills that are just caffeine by itself. You can use coffee, which is always good. I've stuck to just drinking no caffeine. For whatever reason, I feel that my body just does not like caffeine. Again, I think maybe it's because my genetics or just the way I'm built, I'm already a pretty energized person, and so that might be part of it. But caffeine's never really mixed with me. All caffeine does for me is it makes me feel like I'm going to have a heart attack, and it makes me feel like I'm going to shit my pants. I don't know if anyone else gets those same problems or symptoms, but it's pretty problematic for me. So I'd like to not shit my pants or have a heart attack at the gym. So that's why I personally stay away from it. But again, each to their own. So I know a lot of people that really, really enjoy coffee. I would definitely stick to probably no more than 200 milligrams of coffee a day, and I wouldn't have any caffeine past 12 p.m. 12 p.m. because, again, that's going to hurt your sleep cycle. That's something that I learned pretty quickly. But that's pretty much my topic for today, and that's about all I want to say. So I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy lifting. Enjoy getting better and building your best self. Have a great day, you guys.